Wonderful. And I have a question about, well, for me, both my experience yesterday and today, I noticed in the movement there was when the body is moving and dynamic, the mind is a little, the volume's turned down, and there's so much more the sense of space and freedom. But when we move back into stillness at the end and come into this meditation, the mind, the volume is turned up so loud, and the sense of space, the space is present, but there's this feeling of contraction and like density, or like being kind of like not being able to move. I just feel really open to any insight or anything that you feel to share about me.
So when that happens, Ishvari, what else happens? When you notice this agitation of the mind and sort of contraction, there seems to be another layer that happens, which you're sort of bringing, but I want you to sort of become aware of it more. You don't like it.
Like there's a, like, yeah, yes, yes, yeah.
I mean, it's simple.
There's not. Mm.
It's a preference, and I may be a culprit because during these yogas we do explore many different states, and inevitably there'll be preferences. Certain states, for example, the state of free movement, may be very pleasant, and then back to stillness, and that state less pleasant. And so then what happens is, agitation of the mind, contraction of the body, but more importantly, no, I don't like that. That's no good, because when that is here, I'm not in contact with the space. So the first step would be to stop doing that. Of course you can't stop, but to really notice that judgment or resistance or preference, and in doing that, you can begin to take your sort of stand again as the openness, without the mind or the body needing to be 1 millimeter different than they are, because you already are always. You're never anything but that openness, whether the mind is quiet and the body free, or whether the mind is agitated and the body contracted. So that's the most important thing for you to check out. Is not to change the state of the body and mind, but to really establish that in the presence of an agitated, contracted body, mind, and in the presence of a relaxed mind and free body, I remain unchanged. And how do I do that, you will ask? Well, hopefully I gave some indications all through the yoga meditation. It's in a way super simple. The mind does not like the simplicity of this approach, because the mind likes to get busy with its own agitation. The mind's agitated, and then the mind goes, oh, the mind's agitated, and then it's like, what can I do about that? And it's more agitated. And the body is contracted, and we feel it, and then it's contraction. How can I get rid of this contraction? And there's more contraction. So really the task is so simple. It defies the habits of the body mind. The task is to not do anything about it other than take the labels away. For example, you described what you were experiencing very well, and which is useful, but then maybe in the moment, once you've described it to yourself, you've noticed my mind's agitated and my body's contracted. Well, just remove those labels. Come back to the raw and direct experience in the moment, which will be, and here I don't want to use words, which will be something, but something that's a little bit maybe freer to be seen as a perceived moving experience in spaciousness. Does that, am I making some sense?
Yes, yes. And like just the simplicity of it is like I'm blindsided by the simplicity of it. That it
Yes,
is there's actually nothing to do. Like there's truly nothing.
exactly. But that, that's easy to say. But sometimes that
Yes.
nothing to do is a whole exploration. Because in order for that is already the case. In a way, there is no one there to do anything, but there certainly seems to be someone there that is doing a lot.
Mm.
So I'm hearing a funny something or other. I don't know if you're hearing it. Anyway, so yeah, so the territory of understanding, of really making that your experience nothing to do, that there is nothing that is being done. In fact, it's a whole journey. It takes time. You have to first encounter the doer, the one who prefers, the one who resists, and at first it's the one who, but then you have to see what that one is made of, and then so it's a whole exploration. And we conduct it out of the love of the truth. I mean, we conduct it out of, I want to say we should never conduct it out of a I want to get to the bottom of this separate self, because that, in a funny way, that we're still honoring the pagan god, so to speak. We're still end gaming. We want to get rid of something. So this exploration it's meant to be sort of conducted as if it were spontaneous. When you're called to conduct it, it's like you conduct it on your knees, uh, if I can say that like that, like out of the love for the truth. So I would say that the first thing to do when you're feeling this sort of resistance and preference, and this isn't, is, oh, I think I've turned my back to the altar. I need to turn back towards, and here it's for you to find what you like to name it and how you do that, how you sort of get back on your knees and face the altar of truth. And I mean, I use devotional language, but some people, it's not at all their language. But before doing anything, bef- to sort of return towards that which you love the most, which is not a state of the body mind, even though we do all like it when it's very natural to prefer a peaceful mind and a relaxed body.